Good morning, everyone. Hello. 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 Apparently there are 3 of you here already, even though I only just listed it. So, hello. Good morning. Yeah, by the time I remembered that I hadn't done this last night, it was about midnight, and I was like, no.
Hadn't done what?
Scheduled the hangout.
Oh.
I usually schedule them the night before.
Oh.
But it's a standing thing, so
Hopefully.
Yeah, I usually say if I'm not doing one. Well, no, there's already people here.
That's lovely. Early birds.
Yeah, Mum's still not feeling very well, so she is in the sewing room today rather than in church because she does not want to disseminate her germs. But you're feeling better, aren't
you? Yeah, getting there.
Dad's on the way to the mend as well, isn't he?
I think so, yes. Yeah, he woke up very early this morning and didn't go back to bed. So he's snoozing at the moment.
I wondered why he was asleep in his chair when I came down.
Yeah. I didn't even hear him.
Mum's currently making a cushion, a hexagonal cushion, out of the leftovers from the tapestry she's using for her bag, which is like the 4th bag you've made from that. 1, 2, 3, third bag?
Third, I think. No, because they gave that one away, the back shoulder.
Yeah, that's what I was classing that as.
I've got one.
You've got one up there, you've got the petrichor pack, and this one. What else have you made with it?
One up there.
That's what I just said.
No, one up, still in the drawer.
What's that one then?
Maybe that's it.
I think that's it, Mum.
You think that's it?
I think that's it, yeah. But it's some fabric we bought in. Well, Dad made Mum buy it in Lanzarote because we went to a fabric shop, El Kilo, and Jan gave us the best directions ever. It's like find the windmill. With the windmill behind you, walk 12 o'clock northwards. We were just like, that's amazing. Let's get a taxi, which we did. So yeah, because we had a car that trip, but I think we were not very far away from Arrecife, and I don't think Dad wanted to drive in Arrecife and try and park, and we wanted to have wine. So yeah, we found El Kilo, and I bought 3 fabrics, and then Mum bought nothing, and we'd left Dad in the wine bar, like tapas bar, and he was like, no, come with me. And she came back with 3 fabrics for herself, one of which was this tapestry. So yes. I was just going to say, have you seen? There's a way of finishing. She's putting cording on it, and it's really thick cording. There's a way of finishing it where apparently you unravel the cording and then wrap them into each other. Because I'm not overly sure how else you're going to sew that together. Really carefully and probably by hand for that last bit. Then.
Yeah, that's what I was planning.
Okay.
Can I go?
Well, the trouble is, once you've done it, no. Once you've done it, you can't undo it. So maybe
that was kind of my plan.
Sew up to it, and I think that's maybe.
And then do it by hand, just over.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Anyway, Sandra's here from Australia. Hello, good evening. Jojo's here. Good morning. Elena says hello, lovely Shane. Shane. Shan. She says Shan, even with the circumflex. I just read it as Shane. That's because she says Shan Jane, so I was conflating the 2 together.
Okay, I just thought for a moment you didn't know your name anymore. I was just going to get worried.
Oh dear.
But I won't.
No, it's the Shan and Jane. There is an apostrophe or a comma in between the 2, but I was just putting the 2 together apparently. And Peeps. Thank you, Elena. And Monica says, good morning, Sean. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How is everyone today?
I think the zipper footing.
It's definitely the best, yes.
Look at it.
I thought that was a given. Right, so, yes. 29 of you here. Wow. Hello. How's everyone doing? What is everyone up to today? I have zero plans. Zero plans. Oh, I did.
You do have a plan. Help Mum.
So Mum's working her way through the retreat bag at the moment, and it's looking very nice, but I'm helping her make it because obviously Mum wants to be able to help at the retreat as well, but I can't do that and talk to you at the same time. It's one or the other, so that's why she's making a cushion at the moment. There's a chip on the edge of this glass.
Really?
There's a chip on the edge of that glass. Yeah, so I've made two of the bags so far. I managed to salvage the first one that I thought was a write-off because I did a different technique for putting in the lining for the second one that I made, which worked really easy, and I probably didn't need to do that. So yeah, I've got two finished bags now, which is nice, and I'm so glad I didn't cut that other one up because I was going to cut it up to get all the hardware off and start again from scratch. But it does mean that I now have a set of the contrast and faux leather of the dark turquoise leather cut out, and I think I want to make my next one out of denim and the tapestry fabric I made my first tote bag out of. And I don't know what else to use that turquoise leather with because, yeah, I'm not sure. Elena says, we had an octopus invasion yesterday. One of the pictures ended up under post of the pattern. Oh, cool. Cool. I loved that picture. That pattern. Words are hard. I know what I mean. You guys know what I mean as well, which is good. We've developed our own, but at least you all speak fluent Shan now, which is awesome. Oh, they're so cute. Can I show that picture? Is that all right, Elena? Oh, Mum,
I can't.
I was going to say. They're so cute. I might need to make one for Chatty. And she says I can show it. Look! They're amazing. They are so cool. How did I miss that card? Oh, you posted it 17 hours ago. So that's why I missed it, because I was doing other things. Well, not 17 hours ago. I wasn't asleep. So, Monica says, I'm just getting up now and cutting out my DVF dress. It's 6:30 a.m. Oh, that's far too early. Caroline says, good morning, Sean. Happy Sunday. Good morning. Yes. Yeah, I this week has been an interesting one. I did, like I say, get 2 bags done this week, so that's good. And I have filmed and edited all the stuff I wanted to get filmed and edited, so it's not like it's been an unproductive week, but it has been a little bit all over the place. So, I'm sorry, like words are hard at the moment. I am literally half asleep, apparently. So yeah,
you need some caffeine. I can get
God, no. I'll be awake for the next week. I won't be awake for the next week. So yeah, mum and dad are both feeling better-ish, and whatever they had, they gave me a really mild version of it. So I've like got a croaky voice and I've been coughing, but I haven't been sneezing as much as mother. So yeah. It's been a quiet week, which has been nice because it just meant I could crack on and get those other bits and pieces done, which I needed to. the April plans video is coming out on Wednesday. I finished it, editing it, and uploaded it last Wednesday. And I was going to put it out this week, but then realised that I'm taking next week off. So I was like, what am I going to film and edit and upload for Wednesday if I don't do that? So yeah, the plans video is coming out then, and hopefully I've got enough time to do all of those things. I think I have. It should be good. I'm kind of suddenly very aware that I've got this on and I'm meant to be dressing for my capsule collection, but I think I'm going to start that after my week off, because this last week has basically been spent in all of my comfies, to the point where I had to do laundry last night because I had run out of things to put on. And they were all still a little bit damp, which is why I had to put a dress on today. And I keep rolling my sleeves up because that's where it's more comfortable, but I'm chilly. It's not exactly cold, but it's also not like super warm. So yeah, I need to bribe Mum into making me more cardigans with larger sleeves, because these look weird under my tight sleeve cardigans. They get very, like, it all bunches up. So yeah, I showed Mum the Lyrica Matoshi. It's kind of like a cloud jumper last night. Let's see if I can find a picture of it. Lyrica Matoshi jumper. Yes, that one. Clouds. That one. I think it's very cute. I showed it to Mum and she said she thinks she can knit it for me. I just have to draw her a picture. Is that right? Yeah. Because it's basically boring knitting. There's no interest other than having to change colour at the right place. No. Would you rather have something else for your next knit? Or would boring knitting with just colour changing be more? Because Mum's still working on Mia's Christmas birthday present. Mia's birthday is the 18th of December. And it's one of those, what is it, Catherine of Aragon?
Yeah.
Catherine of Aragon. You've started knitting, you've done all the... Oh yeah, Mum's nearly, she's also got her Anne Boleyn to finish for herself as well, but which was her birthday present last year. And you've got have you got another one that we bought? Yes, Nimaway facilitated the wool for the petal sweater that you want to knit as well. I'm not going to get another, I'm not going to get anything knit for me this year, am I? Not one thing. None for you. When do you think you're going to get finished with this red one?
Well, I'm on this first sleeve, and I'm a third of the way up. That's taken a week, and I've not been well, so.
No, this is true, and I have walked in with her muttering over her knitting needles and then frogging things.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
Rather than spoil it for the ha'porth of tar, I undid it.
MJB is here. Evening all. Good evening. Elena says you need a cup of good cocoa with a dash of rum to keep the cold away.
Sounds good.
Does sound good. Jojo says I wasn't going to go for the DVF, but then I saw all the other versions on Insta and I got a free pattern code from So Direct. Currently getting some design options down on paper for the bride to be. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. I keep seeing everybody's versions of that dress, and I'm just like, oh, it's good. It is good, and I do like a wrap dress. But I have, as you guys know from my pattern collection video, like 9 wrap dress patterns, and I've made 3 of them. So I don't need more patterns.
I need to make a wrap dress.
You do?
The first one I tried to do in Saudi.
Yes.
And I made it too short and I've never touched one since.
Yeah, we cut it up for a bag for the Annette bag last year.
Yeah.
Not last year, the year before.
Which did well.
Yes. Yeah, but what I don't think you knew about finished garment measurements, and because it ended up being way too big as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
Too short and too big.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So
I was trying to remember from my days of making children's clothes for you and James.
Yeah.
Which were very successful.
Oh yeah.
Even you wore them.
Did I have a lot to say? Oh no, apparently I was a stubborn child.
Yeah.
Yeah, another reason I don't want kids.
You knew
I'd be
exactly what you were going to wear.
Yeah.
I had no options.
Why do people do this? Do you know there's something called the 4B movement in South Korea at the moment, and it's basically started in 2019, and apparently there are 0 or very few children being enrolled in first grade in South Korea now, because women are just so fed up with the misogyny of men over there that they've just decided that no dating, no marrying, no kids, and no adult times at all. They'd rather just be single. Yeah, this is the first time for generations that the classroom sizes have been like tiny, if not non-existent. So, well, they kind of have a point.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Apparently, a historian was saying that at one point there were something like 100 women to every 1 man because of the amount of wars and stuff getting fought, and being a man was a dangerous occupation. Like back then, not that being a woman was any easier. But civilization was totally fine, like totally fine with that ratio. And then they were like, imagine if it was the other way around, 100 men to every 1 woman. See, so the species wouldn't survive long enough because they would all be fighting over the one resource. No. But yeah, there's lots of other countries taking up the 4. It's called 4B because in Korean, no starts with a B, so it's like no this, no that, and it's 4 no's. So or something along those lines. But yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. Elena says, is it even possible for you to run out of clothes? No. It's possible for me to run out of clothes that I want to wear, or yeah. Nimue says, hello everyone, I was just taking notes on the cutting out table. I'm off to a cutting out party at Von's after lunch. Oh, cool, for your bags.
Cutting out party?
Yes, they're both coming to the retreat, so they're cutting. I put the video out the other night. Thank you very much for being so patient. So they're gonna go and do the thing.
Oh, what fun.
Yeah, Jojo, you won't mind me saying this, but I put the cutting guide up on the retreat group, and then in the comment section I tagged everyone and said, just so everyone knows, there's a video link at the bottom of this for a video cutting guide of how to alter the pattern the way that I want you to, just because some people have missed it before. It was one of the funniest things ever.
But no names.
I've just called her out. I'm sorry. I know you won't mind, because it was one of those things that was just so funny, because we were sitting there in Lal Koom, in the foyer of Lal Koom, and you're like, what extra pattern piece? And I'm like, the one in the video, and you're like, what video? This video. Oh.
So we all got cutting.
Oh dear, that was too funny. Jojo's coming back down again in October. Oh, she still hasn't finished the bags from the retreat, so she's going to bring them with her. One-on-one tuition.
Why not?
Yeah. Anka says, hello, I was just watching Bianca's cape and realised the live started. Welcome. I hadn't put it up yesterday, so it was a last minute impromptu thing. Caroline says, I've just cast on a Quidditch jumper. Nice.
Quidditch?
Yes. Suzanne says, good morning. Have you made any jumpsuits? I've been making the beach pajamas, but want something a bit more everyday casual. I would say the beach pajamas were a bit more everyday casual, or are they too everyday casual? I have done a Butterick pattern, which there is a sew along for. I no longer have that one because I never wore it. I didn't like it on me. I think I did the wrong fabric combination. It was actually this and some poly crepe, and the poly crepe I really didn't like. In fact, it was the polyester Lena lining because they hadn't released this on viscose yet. Yeah, so I have made that jumpsuit. What else? I've made the Sirocco. The Sirocco is amazing and super comfy.
Looks good.
And I have done another sew along for another McCall's jumpsuit, which is the 8006, I want to say. Which I liked, but that is very plunging. So again, that one has not survived in my wardrobe. Is that the right number? No, it was not the right number. 00. Yeah, 009. I was close. But yeah, I've done a sew along for that one. And I did really like it. It's just it had more of an empire line, and the waist was actually below the in the trouser part where the gathering was. And I want to make that one again, but I want to make some tweaks to it because I just didn't like the proportions on my torso. Although I put it on and everyone was like, "Oh, doesn't it make your legs look long?" And it's just like, yeah, but it's also not cinching at my smallest part. I'm a good couple of inches smaller than that, but because it's on my rib cage rather than my waist, you can't see that. So I want to have a play around with that. I think I got the proportions wrong on the other one as well. I also have the Sew Over It Work to Weekend book, which has got a jumpsuit in there, which I know Linnea's just been making. But Linnea also said that that was really tricky to get in and out of without help. Which is fine for getting dressed in the morning if you have somebody that can zip you up. But if you need to go to the bathroom, you don't want to be like contorting yourself trying to zip yourself up. Yeah, so I have a few sew-alongs on the channel for jumpsuits, but the only one I still have and wear regularly is the beach pajamas and the Sirocco, but I don't have a sew-along for the Sirocco. Excuse me. In Agatha's Cottage, it says, "Good morning, everyone." Good morning. Nimue says, "Are the handle connectors on your mum's bag fabric, and did you cut them longer to cover both raw edges under the flap contrast? I'm worried about fraying and shedding." Let me show you.
Sneak preview.
You're going to need to lint roller your thing. Look, your tapestry's going everywhere. Fray check? No. You don't want to make these any longer because I've got them under there. I fray checked the edge. This has already got a lot of stuff in it. And it was very chunky with just fabric, not even faux leather. So no, don't make them any longer. Leave them as is. And I'm going to put out a tips, like a things that I use to make the bag, so that you guys can have because I appreciate you've got to also lug all your stuff over from Germany. So I'm going to put out a post on the retreat group saying everything that I've used in the bag. For example, double-sided tape, which the pattern calls for, fray check, like my rivet press, screwdrivers, those kinds of things. I will have every single thing at the retreat because, as I say, I know you're coming from Germany, so you're not going to want to unlug your entire sewing room with you. Excuse me. But no, don't add any extra length to the handle connectors. We will trim it up and fray check it. So that it tucks under and it won't get any tension or rubbing there because it gets riveted into place. So I wouldn't make it longer to stick under. I don't think it would. I really don't think it would work well. Agatha says, "Love your top, it's beautiful." Thank you. It's the McCall 7537 and I have listed it in the description down below, and there is a sew along on the channel for this dress. And then there's also a sew along on the channel for, because there's a different skirt on the sew along, but you can add this skirt to it, which is a tiered and gathered skirt. I'm getting to the point where, like, I did a video the other day and there was just like, I was like, yeah, and there's a sew along for this one. Oh no, it was the everything I made in 2023 video. Jojo pointed it out halfway through. She texted me and she was just like, take a shot every time Sean says there's a sew along for this one. I was like, have you got to the point where I say that? She's like, no. And I was like, no, don't do that, because by the time I say it, I realize it's right at the end and you're 79 shots in, basically, because there's pretty much a sew along for everything that I made last year, which I feel really good about. So yeah. Elena says, random question for the future to peace my anxiety. Will you mind a lot if your birthday parcel will arrive up to a week late? Oh, Elena, no, not at all. And of course you don't have to send me anything. That's very kind of you, but no, don't worry at all. That's very, very kind of you. And it's always lovely to get presents at any point. Like, it becomes a birthday month. I mean, it is a birthday month because I'm at the beginning and Mum's at the end. Mum got her birthday present yesterday. Yeah. She's got a shine. Do you have it down here or is it up there charging?
No, it's charging.
Mum got a new iPad yesterday, except it's a refurbished iPad, ninth gen. Yeah, it's very shiny. Now I want one. So
it's good that you can get them regenerated, isn't it?
Refurbished. Just conflating two things there as well. Yes, it is. Well, it's because you've got early adopters who are like, oh, new thing come out, must buy, and then they've got their old one, which is perfectly good, and they're like, what do I do with it? So they sell them. So yeah. Jojo says, haha, you mean the morning I spent on the floor as floor goblin, frantically trying to catch up with everyone. Thank heavens I decided to take extra fabric. I knew I'd chicken it up somewhere. It was too funny. But yeah, that one. But yeah, bring your bags down with you when you come down in October and we will finish them. Darcy's here. Good morning, peeps. Good morning. Elena says hello to Darcy. Darcy says 64 watching and 12 thumbs up. Don't forget to like the stream. Yes. Wow. There's 65 at the moment and 18. Please do like the stream. It does help, I promise. Darcy says good morning to Elena. Suzanne says Sirocco jumpsuit is exactly what I was looking for. Thank you. They are awesome. I have 5 of them. Super comfy. One thing I would say that I do differently to the pattern is I need to add length to the torso of anything anyway. But I added it to the waistband and I made the waistband 2 inches thick rather than 1 inch thick, and I prefer how that looks. The other thing that I do is I put elastic into that waistband just because it really gives me the cinch that I like. But again, that's my preference. But they're the things that I made different about the Sirocco. The other thing I did was the trousers for me. I really wanted them very pegged. So I've actually gone down to the smallest size at the ankle. I graded it in to the smallest size at the ankle. I know I've got photos of me in it, so I can show you what I'm waffling about.
I'm just waiting for you to have some rejects.
Oh, you want my jumpsuits?
Yeah.
Mother. There you go. Yeah, so I've gone down to a size, I think it's a 6, the smallest one they did on this pattern when it was printed. So I've gone down to a size 6 at the ankle just because I wanted it to be much tighter at the ankle. The first one I made was gorgeous in a turquoise ponte, but it did also look like a Star Trek pajamas. And everyone told me it looked like Star Trek pajamas and the legs were much, much wider than I preferred. So I did narrow the legs in as well. Add a little bit of width to the waistband and put elastic in the waistband for my personal comfort. Nimoy says, okay, we'll pack fray check. It was already on the list. Thank you. Lol, awesome. There will, like I say, I will have everything I need. And as there's 5 of us at the moment, 5 of you coming to the retreat, it's going to be very easy to share everything. And that's a good point. If anyone else wants to come, there's 3 places left on the retreat. You can.
Please do.
Yes. Um,
I love meeting
Elena says, good, because I almost have Christmas planned with a little devil face. I mean, it's totally not necessary, but I am very thankful, Elena, because you always send the loveliest gifts. Anka says, Sean, how do you finish the seams with the gathers on a gathered skirt? Tried to French seam everything, guess where I got the inspiration, but gathered seemed to be a bit too much. Depends on what fabric you're using. For this one, I French seamed them. But because this is a really lightweight viscose challis, how many channels do you get where people show you up their skirts? Well, I don't answer that actually, but yeah. So I French seamed it because for me, like the gathers wasn't too bad. The place where I've got the densest gathers was in the waistband, and that I enclosed inside the midriff panel on the inside. But yeah. It depends on the fabric you're using. If you're using a cotton lawn, in fact, no, I've done a tiered and gathered skirt in viscose, cotton lawn, and quilting cotton, and I French seamed all of them, and it was fine. One thing you might want to think about if you're using a slightly thicker fabric is give yourself more seam allowance. So rather than trying to fit it all into a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, give yourself like a whole inch. And just make your seam allowances that much bigger so that it can fold over and take up the fabric. I'm not saying leave it as a finished 1 inch thick seam, but just give yourself like that extra little bit of room so that you can trim it down and turn it over and not lose any length from the panel that you've cut out, if that makes sense. Joker Clue says, hi mum, morning all, finally woke up, lol, and we've had 9 new cards this week. Baby goose. Baby goose. Lollapalooza says, morning all, good morning. Nimue says, Foxhill's reply about ferry tickets got caught in the spam folder, but everything should get sorted now. Every other leg of the journey is booked. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, you definitely use them because they get it much cheaper than anybody else.
Yeah, Nimue's coming on foot though.
Oh, right.
Because she's flying from Germany. So, yeah, you offered to go and pick her and Yvonne up.
Absolutely.
It was because I very strictly say I will arrange you a taxi. Mum was like, no, I'll do it. I'm like, okay. I may have to. It depends when Foxhills are going to let us go in and set up, because we may need the car to be running backwards and forwards to do that in the morning, and it depends what time ferry you've got as well. But we will organise some way for you to get from the ferry to Foxhills. We won't abandon you. Nimue says, thank you very much, Jane. It's much appreciated. We will do our best to get you there. Nimue says, we still don't have to leave at the crack of dawn. Still not enough time to join you at the we don't even have to leave at the crack of dawn, but still not enough time to join you at the Stitching Elmers. Oh, that's sad. Are you going, because you're coming early and doing some stuff in London, and Yvonne's got something to get back to, hasn't she? So you're going home straight from the island, is what I remember. Michelle says, good morning. Good morning. Anka says, wow, French seams looks good. Thank you for all the tips. No worries. And what I would suggest is, if you're using whatever fabric you're using, play around with some scraps and see what you can do. See how it all works with scraps. But yeah. Aaron says, started sewing a wearable toile sew over it Martha dress in white with orange print. Wish me luck. The next one is black linen. Nice. And good luck. Yes. So yesterday I was adding to the Anaconda Anthesis collection because there's not enough stuff in here. But I've got these viscoses that I got from the Gold Hawk Road trip, and I've already made the Eve dress up in the pink version, but I've got like the ginger. I've called this ginger, and then the kind of bluey version. And I thought both of these worked quite well with the colours in the Anaconda Anthesis collection. I've got 3 meters of each. I'm not sure what I want to do with them, because I really love my pink Eve dress from this, but I don't want to make another Eve dress because I've already got one in this fabric. But yeah, I was sort of sitting there yesterday. I was in a total trance yesterday. I was supposed to be cutting out another bag, and I just ended up sort of like pottering around the sewing room all day, telling Mum how to sew her bag.
Individual tuition. That's
Yeah.
what you were doing.
Yeah. I've talked Mum into making me covers for my cover stitch and overlocker as well, because at the moment they just have boring plastic ones, and I've got a decent chunk of this Lisa Chandler stuff left, and then there's some other stuff that Mum did a present for her friend for Christmas out of. So I'm hoping that Mum will make me some covers for those two machines up there, because I think that would look really pretty, rather than their plastic sheets that they're living in at the moment. Nimue says, yes, arriving in London the Wednesday before and straight back home in the fun 13-hour trip on the 6th. Top of my head, we're arriving on the island shortly before 3. That sounds like it's doable, because Fox Hills the last time were very good and let me in fairly early to set up and get everything where I wanted it. And they've done most of the work themselves, bless them. So we should be able to have it all done and then be able to come pick you up. Do you know if you're coming into Ride or Cows? Anka says, the video with Nicola was so much fun. I watched it several times. I smiled and laughed at the entire time. Thank you. Thank you. The majority of the comments were like that. There were some that were not, but the majority of comments were like that. And honestly, it was really, really fun to film. It was horrendous to edit. I absolutely hated editing that video. It gave me all of the feels. And then I uploaded it for Nicola to check and have a look and see if she was happy with it. And she rang me and she was just like, I don't know if I want to put that out. She had the same reaction that I did. She was like, I don't know. So she wanted me to put the disclaimer in, and she wrote the disclaimer, but I just dropped it in and re-uploaded about the blue skirt. Yeah, both of us. I mean, that's the thing. We both felt so vulnerable in something that wasn't our usual outfit. And yeah, she like Nicola, bless her, she was like, I'm already prepared for the hate comments. Like, I've got these replies. Like, I've thought about it. I've thought about the things that people can say and what I'm gonna, how I'm gonna reply to them and how I'm gonna respond. And it was me. I literally fell apart. There was about 3 or 4. There's one that's been deleted because it was just really mean. It was really, really mean. Yeah, and it's just, but it's one of those things, because somebody commented on the age difference between the two of us, and then somebody else commented on it doesn't matter. Yeah, there was a few comments that were just less than pleasant, and it suddenly had me feeling, I was just like, am I delusional about how I look? Because I guess in our heads we all look a certain way, and there's certain points where you kind of see yourself in the mirror and you're like, whoa, who's that? But yeah, the age comments were the one that got me, and it's not the one that made me cry, but the one that the age comments were just like, am I mean, I know I'm going to be 45 in a couple of weeks time. I know, I am aware that I'm in my mid-40s, and Nicola is 39 and she's going to be 40 later this year. So there is 6 years difference between the two of us, but I didn't think it was that obvious, and I was just like, oh wow, okay. So yeah, Nicola was totally fine, and I'm the one that fell apart. And I don't know what it is, because the majority of the comment section is all names that I recognize, and it's a lot of you guys that have gone over there and signed up because you really enjoyed seeing Nicola over here, and you really want to see more from what she does. And that's awesome, because she's really good at what she does. But it was one of those things where it was just like, there were a couple of names that popped up that made comments that I was just like, oh, I wasn't expecting that, but okay. And like I say, the majority, there's over 93 comments over there. Nicola has replied to everyone, so there's like what 45-ish comments over there. The ones that I wasn't prepared for is from random people finding her video. I'm really lucky that the majority, like 99.9% of my community, are lovely, and yeah, I was not ready for random population to kind of discover my stuff, and I'm aware that it's on YouTube, and I'm aware that the random population can discover my things at any point and watch it. But the majority of times, my stuff gets recommended to other sewists or people that are interested in this kind of content. So it's not just like the random, but yeah, Nicola was fine, and I was the one that was fell apart, which is another reason there wasn't a hangout on Thursday night. I know I cancelled Wednesdays because I wasn't feeling great, and then Thursday when the comments started on that video, yeah, they weren't great, and then the next day there were more comments. Poor mum, she's down here, she's like, I hate seeing you so upset, and I'm like, I'm aware logically that these, like Nimue, because I mentioned this in the Patreon Waffle, and this was before the video had gone out. But I'd put in, like, somebody had commented, and I just like replied, and I was like, unfortunately, some people have been mean. And Nimue herself was just like, it says more about them than it does about you. And logically, I know that.
Yeah.
I know that, but yeah, I'm feeling really vulnerable at the moment for a variety of reasons. Like I'm on a bunch of different things and hormones and stuff like that, and that's making, so I was the one that fell apart. But you know what? I've got a week off next week. And I mean, that's another reason that I've been living in scruffs. Like I have literally been living in pajamas, except when I've had to be on camera. And that's another reason I had to do laundry last night, because all of my scruffs were gone, and I was just like, I don't want to put clothes on. It's just, it's giving me a bunch of feels, but it is what it is, and I will be fine. And objectively and logically, I know it says more about them than it does about me, but it is one of those things that just people manage to hit a certain nerve where, and I mean the comment about the age, I'm sure the person didn't do it to be malicious. I'm sure it was just like their perspective, and of course, everyone's entitled to their opinion and perspective, but it's it was one of those things. It was just like piled on top of a lot of other things. I was just like, am I delusional about how I look?
Charlotte Kimber.
That's all right. Mum's popular.
Hello.
She's going to try and whisper at her now.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Where did I get to with the chat? Elena says, something with gathered skirt. Those fabrics give a lot of ruffles and flounce vibes. Yeah, I need to. I've booked my tickets for the dressmakers ball. I am going. I'm so excited because we didn't go last year. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to remake one of two dresses. Because I'm going to do that anyway. So I'm thinking for my dressmakers ball, I'm going to remake one of my dresses, and I'm thinking floof and flounce. Floof and flounce. Lollapalooza says, I made a cover for my overlocker. I quilted it with foam to give it more structure. Yeah, I think Mum's going to do something. I kind of like want that fabric that I showed you as like the long panel that goes over the top, and then the two side panels. I think Mum's going to try doing some patchwork and quilting. And I sort of said to her, would you mind doing this? Because it would be a quilting project, but something that's useful, because Mum loves quilting, but we're getting to the point where we haven't got any room for more quilts. And she's like, what family member can I make one for next? So she hasn't had like a big, and I'm aware that this is not a big project, but yeah, I think Mum wants to quilt the sides, and doing the sides in foam would be a really good idea. So yeah, I will mention that to her. Thank you. Lynn says, hi Sean, I made the closet core machine covers for my overlocker and sewing machines. I quilted the machine covers, copied it off a friend at Sewing Group, and I love them. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, they're not the kind of projects that I would do them, but they're not the kind of projects that I would love and enjoy doing. And Mum loves patchwork and quilting so much that I was just like, would this be something that you would enjoy? And I think she would. So yeah. Anka says, but you were both so cute. It was just really weird seeing each other in each other's clothes. Yeah. And like I say, for me, like the print and the fluff and the volume is like a smoke screen. It's a shield. So yeah, having that taken away was like, oh. Lynn says, you and Nicola both look stone cold fabulous in the video. If anybody says otherwise, send them my way and I'll go stereotypical small Irish woman on them. You and Jojo need to pair up. This would be awesome. Jokingly says, you mean they'll really have to hand it to you because you can't reach it yourself? Lol, sorry, couldn't resist that one. I've waffled too much and I've forgotten what that was in reference to. I'm sorry. Is it a bit chilly out there? Darcy says, it's not about you guys, it's about the commenter and their own quest for attention. Hugs from me across the sea. Thank you. Yeah, that was from Darcy. I mean, logically, I know this. I was saying the same to Nicola the night before because she was the one panicking. Not panicking, but she was worried about putting that video out. And bless her, she rang me because I just I texted her and I was just like, why do people need to be so fluffing mean? Fluff. And I think I actually did write fluff rather than the other one. And she's like, I haven't seen anything. I'm on the phone to my sister. I'll call you later. And I was like, no, it's fine. Don't worry. And I'm like, Nicola is someone who likes to do voice notes and call. And I like calling. But at that time, I was just like, texting would be better. But she rang me and I was like, oh, I can't not pick it up. And she was like, are you okay? Are you busy? I can phone back later. I was like, no, I'm just not good. She's like, you do not sound good. I was like, nope. And so she's the one talking me off the list. She was like, but objectively. And I'm like, yep, I know. But my stupid brain is being mean. I mean, that's the other thing. I 100% would not allow anyone else, and I don't allow anyone else to make those kind of comments about anybody else or me. But my own brain is just like, but they've got a point. It's like, no, they don't. No. But we are our own worst critic. We are very mean to ourselves. So yeah. Monica says, that's just terrible. Why do people continue with such terrible comments? So sorry to hear this. That's what gets me is like, I said it today and I was like, sure, think it. Think it. No problem. But why take the time to write that? You know? And it wasn't just a comment about me. It was a comparison between the two of us as well. And it was just like, why not? I mean, why do you feel the need to pit women against each other? And why just shush?
I thought you were both very brave.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, when I edited it, I really didn't want to put it up, and I did, and Nicola saw it, and she didn't want to put it up. And both of us have agreed that we're going to do it again in autumn-winter for a autumn-winter style swap. But both of us, in the meantime, we're going to go and join the gym together and actually like make an effort to just make ourselves. And I said this, I think I said this in one of the waffles as well, so I won't hop on it too much, but it's not so much about how I look, it's about how I feel. There are certain things at the moment in my, like, I can't go dancing at the moment because I have a hip and a knee issue and also stamina, and I'm just out of breath doing anything, and I don't like that. So swimming, cross trainer, weights, then hopefully onto the dancing kind of thing is going to be a way that hopefully just builds up my fitness. And if I change shape or lose weight in the interim, then great. The other thing though as well is I have been mainlining sugar, as you guys have seen, for the majority of this year. So yeah, I need to stop mainlining sugar as well. But Mum's turning her cushion through. You're going to need another project in a minute, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh dear. I will show you the cushion in a second. Yeah, where did I get to? Elena says, Sean, the fashion community everywhere is super toxic. Yeah. 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 Caroline says Mark is livid that people were nasty. He thought that both of you looked a tad uncomfortable in the other's clothes, but you were both having fun together. My Mr. Protective, oh bless him. I mean, that's the thing. We both were super uncomfortable in each other's clothes. We did not feel right in each other's clothes at all. And there were a couple of people actually that were pointing out that maybe our kibby body types, despite the fact that we didn't say it in the video, but we weigh exactly the same at the moment as well. And you know, most of our measurements are the same. And you know, she's. Do you want to? We had a very specifically shaped piece of fabric left, hence the hexagon. So, yes. Last piece of Lanzarote fabric.
Now I've got to make an inner for it.
Yes. Yes. What was I saying? Yeah, no, we both did feel very, very uncomfortable in each other's clothing because it just wasn't our comfort zones. But it was funny. So, yeah. Darcy says, Joker Clues, I have baby pineapple growing in my back garden. Nice. Jojo says, one day I'd love you to give me permission to let loose on these awful folk. You're stunning, both of you, but especially you. Oh, bless they sad, lonely, bitter gits and don't deserve internet access. Joker Clues says, woohoo, don't neglect it, Darcy. Lol, we need to raise that to adulthood. Churn Dash says, 6 years is hardly an age difference. That's why. That's why I then thought, am I delusional about the fact that I look older than I thought I did? Because I don't think I do, but yeah.
You don't.
I was saying this to Mum the other night, it's because I've had all the sleep. I've never had to get up for a screaming baby.
Yeah, they did tell me about that.
Darcy says it's going to be delicious. Christine Allen says, I really enjoyed your vlog with Nicola. The laughter was so infectious. Looking forward to future collaborations. We've got lots of oh, yeah, it's kibby body types. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, there was a couple of other people who were like, despite the fact that you're so similar, you both look like you're on opposite ends of the kibby body type spectrum. So very like yin and yang. And I said to Nicola, that could be an interesting one to do because I've always wanted to do the kibby body type quiz to find out like where I am on that spectrum, but I don't think I've got an objective enough eye to be like, oh yeah, my shoulders do this or that or the other. Even with like, I found a really good quiz which has photo definitions of what each thing, you know, like sloping shoulders and stuff like that. I was just like, yeah. So Nicola was like, oh yeah, that could be good. So yeah. There's stuff everywhere and Mum's trying to make more room. Joker Clee says, and just for the record, I didn't know you as well as I do right now. I'd say you were in your early to mid 30s if I just met you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Bvet says, I'm so sorry people were horrible. I loved it and it perfectly demonstrated why you have to live your own style. Yes. Lynn says to Jojo, I will happily hold your coat for you. And Jojo says to Lynn, tag team. And Lynn says, done. Oh, good grief. I mean, there were a fair few impolite responses written in my head, but it wasn't my channel. So I was just like, I'm not going to kick off in the comment section. And if I had, then it enters into a dialogue with the person who knows that they've needled me and knows that they've upset me, and probably that's their goal. So yeah, I didn't say anything online for records, and I won't now because I did, like I say, have quite a few colourful retorts. But no. Ellen says internet is fluffery afoot. Yes. Mara says comparisons are odious, and it's a saying for a reason. You are both gorgeous. Thank you. And Nicola loved your comment, Mara, as well. She was like, oh, that was so well thought out and such a lovely thing to say. And that's what I mean. The majority, again, the human brain is a stupid thing. The like 95% of the comments were lovely, and it was just the ones that were slightly like outside of my comfort zone or plain out mean are the ones that stick in your brain, and that's just daft. Why do we do this to ourselves? But yes, Mara, your comment was lovely. Thank you. Joker Clee says, for some reason, the trolls have come out from under the internet bridges these days, and they seem to revel in sowing chaos and discord. Yeah.
Cushion needs to be bigger. The inner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
By an inch.
At least.
At least.
Yeah, because otherwise your cushion will look flaccid, and you don't want that. You want it to be nice and stuffed. Yes. Darcy says, logic brain is how we can get the emotional impact to the comment to be made less. I'm doing an intensive outpatient therapy for myself currently and will stop info dumping. No, but I mean, it is like logical and emotional brains may live in the same head, but getting them to talk to each other. Elena says, does your mum have a Pinterest board for hunting project inspiration? Yes. You don't use Pinterest all that often, do you?
Oh, I do.
Oh, you use Pinterest? Okay.
Mm.
Yes. No, she's got... And
mainly for keto diet.
I was like, where some of these recipes are turning up from. Oh, I made Mum and Dad 2 TikTok recipes the other night, and I apparently did it well.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Debbie says, afternoon all. Had a lie-in after watching the Grand Prix this morning. Love Mum's cushion cover. Yes, isn't it pretty? Lollapalooza says, your body type changes with age. Also, gravity is not our friend. Yeah. 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 Very aware of that. There's an app on, again, I've spent far too much time on TikTok, but there's an app on TikTok that dermatologists have said is like the most accurate aging app. And I looked at it the other day and I was just like, oh my God, it's Granny. It made me look like Granny. And it was just like, yeah, no, exactly. It was just like, well, okay.
Actually, Granny was very attractive, wasn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But it goes to show how accurate it was, because it was, you know, like it aged me up to look like my grandmother.
Gosh.
So yeah, it was one of those ones that was like, I'm not sure I needed to see that, but hi, Granny. Yeah. I knew you were going to say
Perhaps
something about that, Jojo.
Try that.
Huh?
Perhaps I better try that.
Darcy says the cushion cover is very nice. Tia says, I really enjoyed your video with Nicola. You both looked like you were having so much fun. I'm so sorry that some of the nasty comments that upset you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just being sensitive at the moment. I know this. It's really nice to be able to talk to you guys about it as well, because if I just sit on it and not say anything, it festers. So, you know, being able to talk about it is really nice. And I know in the past that's annoyed some other people, but they've now left the channel because I have annoyed them by my wanting to talk about stuff that makes me sad or is affecting me. But honestly, I need it. And, you know, again, it's one of those things that if this isn't the right place for you, that's sad, but there are lots of other places on the internet that will work for you. So yeah. Jojo said, "Bastard, cue me to start chortling like an 8-year-old school kid. I was never burdened with maturity." I knew someone was going to say something about that, and I knew it was going to be you, Jojo. Oh, dear. Jacob Lee says, roll on the floor laughing my ass off. Me too, Jojo. Me too. Caroline says, saw a keto recipe for Yorkshire pudding. So yum.
Oh,
Ooh. You'll have to track that one down, Mother.
yeah.
Elena says, our worst enemy is stress and not enough fabric in our overflowing stash. Yes. And Darcy says, you're allowed to feel your feelings and your feelings are valid. Yes. 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 Joker Clee says, or in the really big sale bin, lol. And Caroline says, that's what makes us a community. Exactly. Exactly. And I don't expect everybody to agree with me about everything all of the time. I really don't. I'm not delusional. I know I'm going to like and want to say things that other people are just like, nope, that's not for me. But I think that's the nice thing is, you know, that's the cushion for the pillow I made you, Mum. You can't take that apart.
No, this is bigger than that.
No, it's not. Well, where's the cushion pad for that one?
I have two. I have another one of these. I can't find it.
I think you'll find that that is actually its pad. Mum was trying to convince me that I'd only embroidered her 5 cushions the other day. She was like, no, there's only 5. I was like, Mother, I did you 6. She's like, you did not. And then we found it. And she's like, oh, look, there's the 6th one. Have you got any of your bear stuffing?
No, not an. Oh.
That might work.
Yeah, that's
You may
enough.
need more.
Yeah. Put one cushion down for distraction.
But not that one, because
No.
that was a very expensive. She's trying to, I don't know, I make this woman gifts and she just. I mean, what's that big thing in there?
That's a sheet.
Okay. Not cushion stuffing then. Lollapalooza says, what are you sewing at your retreat? I can show you now. All the retreat peeps have seen.
Have they?
They have. They've got their patterns and their cutting guides. So they have seen.
I can make you this enclosed, can't I? Because you wash it with the phone.
As long as that's what, yeah, it's washable polyester.
Yeah.
We are doing the Dulcinea. I managed to finish this one, but yes, we're doing the Dulcinea by Shambhala Bags.
And it looks really nice, actually. I like it.
Yeah, Mum wasn't sure to begin with.
Show them my front.
I have shown them your friend.
That's right, isn't it?
So I've got my little frog zipper pull in there. That was given to me by Ali. Oh, Caroline's messaged us the keto Yorkshire pudding recipe. Thank you.
Bless you.
Yes, Dulcinea.
Dan, you'll be happy.
Yeah.
You can have Toad in the hole on Monday evening.
I thought you were doing the one that I did. Your next Monday.
Oh, yes.
The stuffed chicken breasts.
Yeah.
With smashed broccoli. Smashed broccoli parmesan crisps, except they weren't crispy because I boiled the broccoli too much because I was.
Get the air fryer.
We keep saying this and then trying to pin either of you down to do it at the right time. None of us can be in the same place at the same time.
This afternoon. He's got the stuff now.
I've got an entire bag to cut out and make this afternoon.
Oh yeah.
I'm on holiday all next week. So, yes. Tia says, don't think it makes you sensitive. I think it makes them mean. You're awesome. Oh, thank you. Yes. Aaron says, for US viewers, who is looking forward to the eclipse? Oh, yeah, I'm jealous. Jokely says, I'm too far out of the way to see the eclipse. I think we might get to see something like 25%, sadly. Still might grab the old welding helmet from the shop and let the kidlets try to watch anyways. Oh, cute. Darcy says, it was suggested that my Sojo paralysis would be benefited by decluttering my stash by a fellow crafter. I felt betrayed. What might help is not decluttering it, but just taking it out, folding up the pretties again, and just reacquainting yourself with it. I love, you guys know, I love to take cubby holes out and like refold them and show you guys them and then put them away again. That might help, and that always usually sparks enthusiasm for me. Monica says, we are all here for you, no judgment, talk away. It's the least we can do to give back to all of you you give us, Sean. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. And after all, your stash is a different kind of collection.
Yes, yes, exactly.
It's admiring.
Yes, yes. It's also sound insulating and heat retention. If I sewed this all up, it would be much colder in here. It would be.
I'm working on mine.
No,
I'm making progress.
You are. You are. You are. I think you should make one of those dresses behind you next. That Lisa Chan. But it's becoming spring summer, and you do wear them more when it's spring summer. And you don't wear dresses much. You're constantly wearing the dresses I've made.
I do wear them.
Yes. You don't wear them at home, but when you're going out and stuff.
Yeah.
And you've been wearing my ones that I've made fairly frequently on repeat, so throwing a couple of new ones in there might not be a bad idea. And you did want to make a dress out of that fabric, the Lisa Chandler fabric.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, you got your 8577 with your slim down skirt. That's what you said you wanted to do with it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because you like that one and you've perfected that pattern and you wear it.
Which pattern?
The 8577.
Oh, that's the big pocket one, isn't it?
Except you've slimmed the skirt down and changed the bodice, and you've made all the alterations to it. Yes, that's that one. Yes, I can see the pattern.
Does it fit me now?
I don't know. You have to try the other ones on, but if you're making one from scratch, you can tweak it as you go. Oh, dear. Jokically says, I'll hold on to anything you might feel the need to declutter, Darcy. Well, we got the shelves in the sewing room done the other day and got the fabric and spare machines onto them too. Oh, excuse me. Nice. Peter says, I thoroughly enjoyed your collaboration video. Sadly, there will always be Pond Life. That's probably not being kind to Pond Life, but with that comparison, you want to belittle from afar. You had fun. Yes. Now, objectively, logically, my brain knows this, but my feelings were hurt. Lynn says, oof, that bag's lovely. Thank you. Darcy says, that's just beautiful. Thank you. Michelle says, ooh, those bags are so beautiful. Thank you. Eleanor says, those are so pretty. Thank you. Lala says, ooh, fun. Caroline says, love those bags. Thank you. Joker Clee says, ooh, shiny. And I like the contrasting fabric on them too. Yes. Yeah. And Debbie says, oh, wow, both are beautiful. Can't wait for the retreat. I know, I'm so excited. Do you want to see the combination I'm going to use for my next one?
Teaching one, is it?
No, I'm still going to make this one up, and then I've got hardware to make two more. So I'm going to take this, which I hope I have enough of. I do, which is awesome. I'm going to have this, and this is going to be the main contrast, because I've seen somebody else do a bag like this, and I really liked it. And then Mum's given me this for the main body of the lining, which is very kind of her. And then I have a fat quarter with red pandas on it that I got at one of the Festival of Quilts for the interior pockets. They're so cute. Unfortunately, I don't have enough to do the full lining out of those because you need more than a fat quarter for that. But they're going to make a zipper pocket and a slip pocket. It's been really funny, like, having Mum, she was just like, oh, I've not cut out this piece because it says I need this piece. And it's like, no, you have. She's like, but I haven't. It's like, but you have. I've just done it a different way. She's like, oh. Like, well, I've got to make myself kind of useful for the retreat because otherwise people could just follow the pattern.
I must say, the end product is brilliant.
Yes. Yes. It's very much like when I did the Horiath at last year's one. I did feel like a spare part because Erica has written such a brilliant pattern that I did nothing to, and she's already done the videos for it. It's like, what value am I adding? But yeah. Peter says that's a lovely design of a bag. Thank you. Like I say, the Dulcinea by Shambhala, and you can have so much fun with the different combinations of fabrics in that one. Caroline says, love my air fryer, use it most days now. Elena says, and now we're making everyone hungry once again. Yes, to be fair, you are. Have these warmed up enough? Yeah. Yeah, that was good. Elena said, oh, I read that one. Aaron says, we're traveling to Ohio to the Path of Totality. The Neil Armstrong Museum is having a huge watch party. Cool. And Darcy says, the fabric is very insulating. Yes. Jojo says, I showed the wedding quilt team my stash. All of them have decided they love sewing and have offered to help me tidy and reorganize it. I will be checking bags as they leave. Yes, you need to do a pat down as they leave, for sure. Much like when you guys came to my house a couple of years ago for my birthday. It's like I let them in the sewing room, and then it's like, now I'm going to check you all before you leave. Darcy says, I wish it wasn't going to be cloudy here, but I don't think I'll get a viewpoint. I've never seen a total eclipse. And to Joker Clues, I'm jealous of your finished shelves for fabric. I need to get my contractor back in to finish my closet. And Rottenmouth, Darcy says, red panda fabric. And Ari says, good morning, peeps. Trying to wake up. Good morning. Gin and Pin says, afternoon, peeps. I fear I'm about to acquire more stuff. Yesterday, my spinning wheel's given some TLC, and I spent the day being taught how to spin on it. Love being part of the group. Oh, that's so cool. Very cool. Yeah, I think so. My plan for next week for my holiday was to just kind of like power through and get all my knit projects done. And I may still do that. But another thing that I'm thinking is that I might actually have a very critical look through my fabric stash, because I know there's some stuff back here that I'm keeping because I love it, but it's not going to work for me, and I probably ought to sell it and pass it on. So yeah, and it would be nice to have a bit of a clear out, because there's a couple of bags over in the corner that have got like half finished projects in them that need to be refashioned and things.
We're going to have a stall at Church Fete.
Apparently we're having a stall. When's the Church Fete?
I think it's June or July.
Oh, good, June. So she's going to say like the 29th of April or something. It'd be like, no, you're busy. Although you do have a Sunday off.
Yeah.
So yeah, you need more. It'll be a bit. I'm not saying the word again, Jojo, because you'll just take it to places that it shouldn't go. Bit limp. There you go.
See if I've got any bits from there.
You can't put different stuff in it, it'll end up lumpy.
Huh?
You can't put different things in there, it'll end up lumpy. Joker P says, now I want a strawberry milkshake and a big thick burger with fried onions and fungus and mozza cheese and extra pickles with a big pile of crunchy outside and soft inside fries with vinegar. I want that too now. Stop it. Stop it. She's trying to sneak quilt patting in without me seeing. Hey, it's your cushion. Elena says, but you need parts of the stash for your fabric you just love. This is true, but it would also, because I've got a giant list of things that I would like to buy, and I think I need to start doing a one in, one out kind of a thing. But the one out can be something made as much as it could be something bought or sold. Sorry, I wish you could see what she's up to.
They're all good bits. I can't use the big bits.
I can use them for a hat.
Am I going to make it work? In the middle.
I was going to say you probably need to take some of the stuffing
Yeah, I'll
out.
put that round
But
the edge.
yes, exactly. Oh dear. Helena says, read that one. Darcy says, we did mushroom enchiladas for dinner last night. It was delicious. I love the taste of mushrooms, just not the texture. Whenever Mum cooks one of the Green Chef or Hello Fresh meals that's got mushrooms in it, she very kindly blitzes them for me. Dad doesn't. They taste delicious, but it's just the texture. Jake Lee says, that's no better. Sean looks at Jojo and starts giggling. I know. Lena says to Joker, please, you're evil. Joker Clee says, hey, I'm hungry and haven't eaten since yesterday afternoon. You need food. And now I need food. I really want a burger.
We've probably got a burger one.
Yeah. Something about having a fast food burger. I know you don't like it, but I do. Well, nobody's making you. Inari says, for Darcy, don't forget to make something wonderful for May the 4th. I hope you're making something cool. And Jojo says, but taking things to places they shouldn't go is my life mission. You're so mean. I know, I'm evil. Inari says, chocolate covered strawberries. Ooh, yeah. Actually, Joanne at Fox Hills knew that Mum and I were eating keto. And so when she was doing these amazing desserts for everybody else, she did do us chocolate covered strawberries.
She did.
In fact, actually, one of the other attendees is keto as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the other cushion. Dead cushion.
Yeah, that one you can sacrifice. That one up there, no.
Deceased.
Is it feathers? That's good, because I don't want that in here if it is. She's taking it apart. Oh, God.
Trying to do the zip first.
Jojo says to Joker, please, we'd be the kids at the back of class who always had to be separated for everyone's sanity. Joker please says, I was exactly that, Jojo, lol. And where's your medicinal chocolate, lol? I haven't got any medicinal chocolate in. I've got extra sweet strawberries instead. Dad bought me them. The chocolate that they have in the house is 85% and it's too bitter for me. I like 70. So I might go to the shops after this and get myself some bits and pieces. Elena says, next time when we will make burgers, I will be a horrible person and post them in the Peeps group. Oh, I do like burgers. Looks like you've murdered a Muppet. She's like just stabbed and ripped the old pillow.
Unknown caller.
You're popular today. It's everyone from church just saying, are you okay? Yeah, here. Hello.
No, Jane? Yeah.
Hello.
It's Tom.
Oh, hello. Darcy says, Inari, I will try. And Jojo says to Joker, please, I spent more time stood outside the classroom than actually in it at good times. Oh, you guys, you do make me giggle, which is awesome because I really do look forward to these Sunday mornings with you guys because, I can be having the crappiest week and it's always lovely to sort of be able to say that I'm not having a great time, help. And you do. It's very kind of you. Because I know a lot of people use the internet and channels to have as escapism from their crappy stuff that's going on. Which is what I try to do with the majority of stuff on the channel. But these hangouts on Sundays, I'm not that good an actress, so if I'm upset, I can hide it. So yeah, it's very nice that it's such a lovely space to just be able to talk about whatever we want to talk about, and yeah, It's very much appreciated. Thank you. Darcy says it's nice to have a community that will check on you. Yes. Joker Clee says, yeah, I spent my share of time either standing outside or sitting on a bench in front of the main office. Lol. Jin Pin says, I saw someone on a drama melt chocolate in a wrapper over hot water and then pour it over a bowl of strawberries. Looks so easy and fuss-free to do. That sounds like a genius idea. And I do have another punnet of strawberries. And Ari says, for Darcy, I'm sure you would make something wonderful. Joker Cleves would love to see your makes. And Monica says, hanging out in a genuine way is the best part of how we get to know one another. Yes. Joker Cleves says, to me, your lives are like a visit to the local coffee shop, but sadly without all the proper hugging needed. And Darcy says, I wasn't in school often enough to get into trouble with my teachers. I think I was pretty goody two shoes. There were a couple. I hated PE, and there was one time we had like these filofaxes with like the weekly homework schedules and planners in, and then any notes that needed to be written between us and our teachers got put into these things that we had to take everywhere with us. And I hated PE, and I didn't want to do PE, so I wrote a note from my mum and signed it saying that Sean doesn't have to do PE today. And I don't know how they discovered it, but they were like, you forged that, didn't you? And I was like, yeah, because I'm a terrible liar. I go bright red, like literally bright red. And they were like, right, so detention for a week next week. And it was the last week of term, and it was the last week of that year as well. So when we came back, we were going to go off a year. And mum and dad, when we were younger, used to take us out of school before the school holidays so that we could go on holiday, because my granddad lived in one of the Balearic Islands. And so a lot of the times mum and dad would take us out of school then, because it was so much cheaper to fly before then, because they jacked the prices up massively for the school holidays. And this was before the time that was frowned upon. They had to get permission from the school, and the school would give us homework to do whilst we were away. So anyway, this was the last PE. It was a Friday afternoon, so it was the last lesson of the week, and it was the so the teacher was like, so a week of detentions next week, and I was like, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to be in Spain. And they couldn't carry it on because it was a new school year the next time we went back. Oh dear. I mean, I was not an angel. But I clearly was good at picking my times to be bad. Oh dear. Let's see, where did I get to? Jin and Pin says, I hope to see some of you in real life at the Dressmakers Ball. You will. I'm going. I'm really excited because the last time I saw you there, you were wearing your pink beach pajamas. Is that right? I think I've got that right. But yeah, I'm going. Darcy says you got away with it. Yes. Yvette said, I love your lives. This group is so supportive. We all need a place where we can be ourselves. Exactly. And I'm very glad that you guys see that as this. I have 2 dresses that I'm thinking about refashioning for the Dressmakers Ball. Let me show you. I've shown you many times before, but now that I actually have somewhere to go, these are the ones that I'm thinking about redoing. So both of these were when I was a lot smaller and didn't mind my legs as much as I do now. So they're both mini dresses. I have fabric for both of these left. So this one, the bodice really doesn't fit me anymore, and it is meant to have that V there. So what I was thinking, I've got more of this fabric, so I'm going to take the skirt off and try and make a new bodice with the fabric. And then I'm thinking I'm going to get probably this velvet, although I do like that one, but I think this one would be nicer. And then I'm going to add like a panels to the bottom. And I've made a petticoat with some green gold shift organza, which I had made to go under this, which was past my knees, and it didn't look right with this over the top. It looked like my petticoat was too short, so my vision didn't come out the way I wanted it to. But I'm thinking what I want to do with this is maybe make it so it's like not a high-low hem, but like so that just a bit of the organza can peep out from the bottom at the front because it's shaped. But yeah, so I've still got the organza petticoat as well, which I would need to take off of its waist thing and make longer because I want to make this into just above ankles, ankle length. And then with what I've got left from this and the silk, I want to make a little cropped jacket with probably it'll be the silk. I'll have to do this for the majority of it because I've not got a lot of this silk left. And so yeah, a little crop jacket with it as well. And then I want to bead the crap out of it. Lots and lots and lots and lots of beading. Yeah, that's what I want to do with that one. And then this one, I absolutely love this dress. I think it's gorgeous. But I do not like my legs enough that I would ever want to wear this as is. So I was thinking I might do this the same sort of thing, make a skirt to go underneath of it out of black and gold shot organza, and try and see if I can make that work. But I was also thinking about taking this one apart and remaking it because this one is very tiny. I also want to cut out, because I've got lots of scraps of this fabric left, so I also want to cut out another one of that motif and put it there just to balance that out a little bit more. And yeah, so I want to take this one apart and play with it. It might end up being that I cut this part off of the bottom, keep the top as is, but cut the scallop bit off of the bottom, and I have got more of that, and then put that around the bottom of a skirt, and then you know, use this as again more motifs that I cut out and applique onto a skirt. So yeah, one or the other, not sure which. Not sure which yet. But I mean, I do have fabrics back there to make a brand new dress as well, but I really want to do one of those two projects this year. So yeah. Yes. I think so. Is it stuffed to your preference?
That's probably enough, isn't it?
Probably.
It's going to fit in.
Give it a go.
Is it a bit big?
No, stick it in and try and see.
What, before I sew it up?
Well, yes, because if it needs to be altered, then you don't want to have to unstitch. Where did I get to? Elena says we had school books like that when I did live in Russia. Now I kind of wish that now in Finland my kids had one too. Do you remember those from Northgate High School? Those little sort of like filofaxes that we had that would have our like weekly schedule in it with our homework and stuff, so that you guys could be aware of what we got. Yeah, and notes got written between you and the teacher on the notes page. Because I was just telling them about how I forged your signature once so that I could get out of PE and got caught, and got detention for a week the next week. But it was when you were taking us to Spain, the week before school ended. So, and it was the end of the school year as well. So the teacher, I was just like, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'll be in Spain.
So we were in trouble.
No, I don't know.
Now you get fined.
Yeah, no, yeah. But at the time, no, because like they used to give us homework. You used to have to ask the school.
Yeah.
And they would give us homework to do whilst we were away.
That's right.
I remember having to like do reports about where we'd been that day and what we'd done. We went to the beach. It was amazing. I saw a fish.
That's too much.
Yeah.
So stuff it a bit less.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, so you could take some of the batting out. Aren't you glad you checked before you sewed it up?
Yeah.
Jojo says, I once flooded the school toilets in infant school because I didn't like the way my teacher spoke to me, except it was the morning of parents' evening. Timing has never been a strong point. Lol. Pin says, yes, I've worn them a few times for gallery openings and such, and I might wear them again at my niece's 18th in a couple of weeks. So I've got quite a bit of wear out of them. They look very lovely on you. Jackie says, for the second time, I thought you said beat the crap out of it. And I was sitting here going, why do you want to do that? What what that dress to deserve that? Bead. Yes. Darcy says, undiagnosed autism and anxiety disorder are not ways for children to be comfortable in school. Oh, gosh, no. Rachel Lynn says, I vote for the second one. That fabric is gorgeous. It is. It is very pretty, and it should be worn and resurrected. I need to buy a few bits and pieces for that one if I do that one. But then I do for the other one as well. So it's not like either are going to be a totally inexpensive project. Yeah, I do think I'm going to end up cutting that fabric apart for appliques. Although given the length of skirt I want to do and probably the volume of the skirt I want to do, I don't know if I'm going to have enough length of it to go all the way around the bottom. Then do I have, I know I've pinned it somewhere. Can I remember where I pinned it? I saw Angela Clayton had done a dress in a similar way to what I'm thinking about, but hers was a lot shorter, so I don't know if it would, my idea would work for the dress that I want to do. But yeah, that fabric was super expensive. I got it in Singapore and got 3 meters of it, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. But yes, it was not cheap, but I really wish I'd bought more of it. But then at the time, I was very much into wearing short dresses. This is, so I was thinking like something like that, because that's a scalloped, obviously not quite the same, but a scalloped lace around the bottom. And I was thinking something like that around the bottom could look nice. Yes. Oh. Darcy says to Rachel Lynn, the second is beautiful, but I want to see the first one with the velvet editions. And Darcy says, I'm deciding on the batting for my gambeson for my forest gnome. And Caroline says to Jojo, Mark's lot did that. They found out if the boys were flushed at the same time, it would flood the girls too. God. Jackie says, I vote for the duochrome with the velvet. And Rachel Lynn says, pretty and good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I'm going to do both. I am going to do both. I'm thinking I'm kind of leaning towards the green one, purely and simply because I think it will be an easier fix than this one, because I really don't want to get that one wrong, because I can't get any more fabric for that one. Not that I can get any more silk, but I can get fabrics that are similar for the other one. And it's just fighting with this cushion. That looks better.
It's still a bit much. It's a bit solid.
Okay, so take a bit more out.
What do you think?
Well, it's not stuffed up at the top. The stuffing
No.
is, yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
No, because it's not been sewn.
I think a little bit less. Okay. A little bit less.
Yeah, sorry, getting distracted. I think the green one as well is a nice color for me, whereas the black, obviously, I can make it work. But because I will have makeup on for that event. But yeah, I kind of think I want to do the green one, because then I could also do the green coat as well, which is something that I would like to do. So yeah. But they will both get done. They will both get done. I will work out some way to make them both work, for sure. For sure, for sure. Yes. Yes. you restuffing the old pillow?
I've taken the plaiting out as well.
So the original amount of stuffing that you had was perfect.
More or less.
Yeah.
Not quite.
Inari says the black mini dress gives me Victorian vibes over a long skirt or Downton Abbey vibes over a midi trumpet skirt. Yeah, I think the secret for getting that to work will be that the panels do get actually stitched to the longer skirt that goes underneath of them, so that scalloped edge gets stitched into place. I think that's going to be okay. I think, but otherwise, like I say, I will just have to take it apart and use it as a applique, which is what a lot of people do with those kind of like laces. Buy a yard of it and cut it apart to use as applique over other fabrics because it makes it go further. So yeah, could very well end up doing that. Nice. Anyway, we've been waffling for an hour and a half, and Mum's nearly finished her pillow, so she's going to want more attention for her bag.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm going to go to the shops as well. So yeah, thank you very much for hanging out with me today. There will be a hangout next Sunday, but like I say, I'm having a week off, so I have got videos scheduled for Wednesday. There won't be a Patreon hangout, but there will be a Patreon waffle because I've already started editing that, and I'm going to film the rest of today as well. So that will go up on Saturday next week. So hopefully you won't notice that I'm on holiday, but I will be. And I'm very much looking forward to it. So thank you very much for hanging out with me, and I will see you all next week. Yes, I shall see you then. Bye.